We're on a long tour, you know, and we've been going everywhere. We went up to Canada recently. That was kind of fun. A little cold. Not like now. Although getting in was kind of fun. It's hard to go anywhere anymore.
Yes.
Our soundman was caught with smoking a joint about 40 years ago, and they knew about it crossing the border. It was a threat to Canadian security, you know. Believe that crap that's going on. Even going to the airports these days is different, you know. Where I live in western Massachusetts, I live up in the hills, and it's very nice, you know. Just nothing there, really. It takes about an hour and a half to get to the nearest airport, which is down in Connecticut, about an hour and a half down through the back roads. And we've been doing that forever. Before we had the tour buses, we would fly everywhere, you know, did that for years until I didn't know where I was anymore. I said, no, I want to be on the ground because at least I can see the sign, you know, you are here.
Yeah.
I was taking my wife to the airport a couple of years back, and it was going like we always did. Although these days, you know, even the last few years, everything's changed. I mean, the airports, you don't even stop to drop people off or pick them up anymore. You just slow down. You know? Cops are waving, keep moving, you know. Nuts. So I went to the acceptable crawl, you know, along the curb, opened the door, the car was still moving just slightly, you know. Out goes the stuff, out goes the old lady, you know. You got the cell phone? Yeah, see you later, bye, that's it, you know. So I'm driving home, about a half hour into the trip. Phone rings. Honey, come and get me. I said, come and get you? I just dropped you off. What, they canceled a flight or something? She said, no, I've been arrested. I said, you've been arrested? She said, I can't talk about it now. I'm in handcuffs. Just come and get me.
No.
So I turned the car around and driving back to the airport and calling the kids. Mom's been arrested. Pretty soon I'm getting calls from the Connecticut State Troopers giving me the instructions how to come and get my wife. I had to pull the car and park it in the back of the squad car that's parked in the no parking zone. Get out, stand around in the no standing area, you know, and wait for a while. So I'm waiting, and eventually out come my wife, handcuffed behind her back. And a big Connecticut State Trooper moving her along, 4 or 5 of his friends just for security or something, you know. And this big Connecticut Trooper comes, you know, right up to me, stands there looking down, he says, Mr. Guthrie, first of all, I'm a fan. He starts rattling off all these obscure records that I don't even have anymore, you know. His buddies are going, oh, I had that one. I had that too till the wife took off. They're talking like that. And I'm saying, stop! Just tell me what happened. They said, oh, well, what happened was we saw a bag going through security. And it had a tag on it that said Arlo Guthrie. And we says, we know he's not here. What kind of idiot is pretending to be him? They decide they're going to open it up, and in there is a little tin somebody had given me at a gig just about like this. I said, thank you very much, tossed it in the suitcase, forgot all about it. This particular tin had a picture of a familiar botanical substance on the top with the words Amsterdam written beneath. They said, we better open this up. So they open it up. Sure enough, it ain't just a picture. It's the actual substance. It's in there. It's flying everywhere. They're picking up pieces, putting it in the evidence baggies or whatever. The wife is saying, I didn't know that was there. They're going, right, lady. And they're calling her off, putting her in handcuffs and stuff. And eventually they find out who she is, and they say, Mrs. Guthrie, we are so sorry. We really do have better things to do these days than arresting people for this stuff. And frankly, if we'd have known it was you, we wouldn't have bothered. But now that you've been arrested, we can't unarrest you. We have to take you down and process you and all that. But don't worry, we'll make you comfortable. It'll be all right. And the old man will come and get you. It's no worry, no problem. And they're telling me this out on the curb as they're undoing the handcuffs and stuff like that. I'm just standing there, you know, and she's been there for hours, of course. She knows them all by their first names at this point. All the kids' birthdays, all the wives' names, that whole, you know, whatever. 60s gal, you know, serial hugger, squeezing them all. They're backing off going, my God, hippies, you know. And to get her out of there, I had to take pictures, you know, with the arresting officer, head of security. Here's an old song for my wife. Funny how the old songs come in handy from time to time. I actually loved playing the 12 string since I was a kid. You know, just a big, full sound. And I learned to play it because of a friend of my father's, a guy named Hughie Leadbelly. Everybody called him Leadbelly. Leadbelly called himself the king of the 12 string guitar. But man, he could play anything. He could play the piano, he could play the squeeze box, the fiddle, the banjo, and the mandolin. He could, and if whistles, if it made a sound, Leadbelly could play it, you know. And so I grew up listening to all that stuff that these guys had been playing, you know, especially that 12 string. Matter of fact, the first memory in my whole life, standing next to Leadbelly, I had to be 2 years old or something. By the time I was 3, he was already gone, so I know I was about 2. He was an old man at the time. He was born in 1880, somewhere in Louisiana. And I remember, you know, thinking to myself about 1 or 2 years back, I thought, why would standing next to somebody for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, why would those moments stay etched in your brain for your entire life? Why would they stick with you? And of course, there's no answer to it, you know. Just ask yourself that stuff. But it must have been kind of special, you know. I have a doll that his wife Martha had made for me when I was about 2, and my sister stole it from me. And to this day, she won't give it back because I ripped off a leg. She said, "You'll kill it." She still got it. But I remember it was about 3 or 4 years ago, we were down in Louisiana, and we had a few days off, nothing to do, nowhere to go. I was with the band, and I looked at everybody. I said, "We're going on a mission from God." They went, "Oh man, not one of those." I said, "Yeah, we're going to find Leadbelly's grave." Because I knew, you know, he was born in Louisiana, he was buried somewhere in Louisiana, and there's no point of interest, though, on the GPS that says Leadbelly's grave. You just got to drive around, you know, asking people old school. And so we're driving through Louisiana, and outside of Shreveport, up on a little hill, outside of town, we pulled a tour bus around the back of this little church. And we're walking through the graveyard, and sure enough, we found one tombstone bigger than all the rest of them. And it said, Hughie Leadbelly came in the 12-string guitar. You know, and Leadbelly grew up in Louisiana, but he spent a lot of time in the penitentiary system down there. He got in a fight, somebody died. He was doing the time for that. And he was going to be there a long, long time. But they let him out. They gave him a full pardon because he wrote great songs. What a freaking concept. Imagine how many songs are locked up right now around the world, you know. He wrote songs like the Midnight Special. Irene, good night. Songs people know, but they don't always know where they come from, you know. And I grew up singing them. I grew up playing with, I inherited other friends, you know, guys like Pete Seeger, and I played with Pete. You know, even around here at Wolf Trap and all that, for years we played together. And every show we did, there was always a Leadbelly song in there. And I'm not going to let tonight go by without one either. And in that 12-string that Pete plays, if you look at Pete and the style that he plays it, is Leadbelly. If you listen to him both, he stole everything that Leadbelly could offer to steal, you might say. Pete's still doing it to this very day. He's 94, he's still doing it. By the way, he came to me about 10 years ago. This is Pete now. He says, Arlo,